We finally got to the marina. It's a bit of a blustery day, but warm, so I don't care about it being blustery. Here's the baby girl. Okay, mission accomplished. Today we got everything done we want to get done, so here's what we got. Job number 1, remove the shrink wrap. Obviously didn't go all the way up there, but there's my wind vane. My Windex is still good. Got one dirty boat. Very dirty boat. Engine on. And I loaded sails and other tools, toolbox and other equipment on board. Prior to our visit this day with Charm, I had a conversation with the marina owner-operator, and it was his feeling essentially that he preferred to splash Charm in our absence just because it makes it go faster, as they have a ton of other boats still needing to be splashed for the season. We just came down to remove the shrink wrap, also to install the outboard engine as well as gas tank, and put other things like tools and dock lines and fenders, boat hooks, make sure the anchor was ready to go in case he needed it. The next day, we were able to get down to the boat again so that we could wash her and wax her hull to get her ready for splashing. Well, we've arrived on a very blustery day back to the lake, and we are gonna wash off the bottom of the boat and the top sides too. We've had a lot of rain squalls on the way down, but mostly it's really windy, which is why I'm recording this inside the truck. So hopefully we don't have a lot of wind noise. Got my supplies. We're going to use the Sea Safe boat wash, and I've got also some bartender's friend or barkeeper's friend. I usually use Bon Ami, but they don't have that in my stores. And I'm going to have to wait to do the metal polish for another day. We also have the premium cleaner wax, which I used last season, which I really like. Shower wand. And last but not least, hose. All kinds of hose, because I wasn't sure how much we would need. Charm was extraordinarily dirty, and half of the reason is because we were not present during the haul out last season, so all that algae growth on the bottom of the hull remained over the off season and hardened, which of course means getting it off in the spring is all the more difficult and requires lots of elbow grease. It was great to finally see the results of our efforts with cleaning her top sides as well as her bottom. Last season, I bought this really cute sea turtle decal, and I bought 2 sizes because I was not sure which one that I wanted to install on her transom. Because of the lettering in her name, we decided that the smaller sea turtle looked better and more in proportion. The next job was to apply the Starbright Wax Cleaner, and I've used this product 2 seasons in a row prior to this season, and I had great results before. However, this time I felt like the hull turned out a bit splotchy, and I'm wondering if it's because we didn't buff the product off quickly enough. It was pretty windy that day, so I think maybe it might have dried before we buffed it as soon as we should have, perhaps. So I experimented by reapplying, but unfortunately I don't feel like the results came out quite as well this time around. Welcome aboard. I am sitting here on Charm in her 2024 slip for the season. We have a great slip this season. I'm totally stoked. We are on the end slip. And plus we're facing the west side of the harbor, which means we won't have to really deal too much with the fuel dock traffic. Is not at least as bad as we did when we were further down the dock with Sunny. And also we won't have to contend with the ramp traffic, which we did last year when we were with Charm. I think we were 1, 2, 3, 4 slips down from the end here where Charm was last season. And getting in and out of that slip with the dock or with the ramp, the boat ramp there, was a little challenging. But dealing with those sorts of challenges makes you a more skilled boater, of course. So hopefully, I think we learned some good lessons along the way with all of that, but it'll be hopefully a little more smooth sailing, pardon the pun, getting in and out of this slip this season. We are here to do a few chores. First and foremost, I want to check the bilge, as I always do, make sure that with all of the rainstorms we've had the past week, which have been an abundance of storms that have passed through this region, which is good because we need the rain. It will, of course, have increased the likelihood possibly for more water in the bilge if things are leaking, which I don't know for this season. We'll have to see how things are faring. I can tell you for sure that the forward hatch is leaking, which we knew last year, and so we are going to need to still try to solve that issue, repair that, which I believe would really, to do it the right way, of course, we'd want to undo all these screws, remove this, get rid of all the old caulking material and redo it. For a temporary fix, I may use some of this plastic that was part of the shrink wrap this off season where she was on the hard, and maybe tape around the hatch with some painter's tape to try to deter the water from going down below, because I just had the cabin sole redone when I bought the boat, and because it was water damaged before down in this area by the companionway, because the companionway hatch was leaking when the boat was on the hard for many years, not in use. So this has all been refinished, and so I want to keep it nice, of course, and so that means we need to address the leak in this forward hatch. I have the new screen for the hatch. I'm going to go ahead and install that. You can see these clips here where it feeds into, yeah, let's see how it works. Okay, I got it to fit up into here, and then over into here, and then the latches here and here. So we should be good. And here's a little pull tab right here that you can use to take it off. You know, you have to remove it every time you want to open and close the hatch, right? But it's nice to have. It'll keep the bugs out. Now I just need to get something to keep the bugs out of the companionway. I bought some new gaskets for the port lights, or portholes rather, here. So I have basically just one long piece that you have to cut for each porthole. So that'll be a project to do. And of course that entails unscrewing all of these and taking out all the old, cleaning it out and putting the new stuff in. I have not, since I've owned the boat, even opened any of these, because I am concerned that if I open one, you know, it may invite an water intrusion. So I'm just leaving them as they are for now until I can actually do the full replacement with the new gasket material. All of this area needs to be cleaned. You can see where there's still a lot of shavings material from when they redid the flooring. Even if you look on top of the light here, see all that? I forgot to get that when I cleaned this overhead last season. I cleaned this all, the entire everything on the overhead. I cleaned that all down, but it looks like I got this light here, but I missed that one there. Yuck. Got my work cut out for me with the spick and spanning, and I don't think I'll need to do it any more paint. Hey, I just now saw there's the hull number right there also on the boat. Other Com-Pac 23 owners, look to see if you have that same thing on your starboard quarter berth. See if you have that. I just don't know how I missed that, but yeah, there it is right there. I think that's supposed to be in 3 places, on the transom, and then maybe in the bilge, and then maybe one other place. I can't remember. There's something like that. And speaking of the bilge, I've got my trusty little reading lamp that I'm going to use to check the bilge again. And so let's see what we have here. I'm a little nervous with all the rain that we've had. And I do highly recommend using a boat cushion when you do this, because this is really hard on your knees. Got that on. And I think I might get a second boat cushion here. Set my glasses down. Okay, let's head down here and see what we have. Fingers crossed it's not anything too terrible. Oh, so it looks good. Just a little bit right down there. But other than that, it looks good. I'm really pleased. All this needs to be wiped out as well. One of the other projects that I want to work on is all of this in here. So yeah, that's I definitely want to figure out how to get this. It looks pretty organized, actually, to be honest. It doesn't look like a rat's nest, which is really good. So there is a marine electrician who works remotely and does Zooms with people for consultations. I'll put the link to that. His name is Owen Murphy. I found out about him through Paul Trammell, who is the offshore and sailing podcast guy. He used this gentleman, Owen Murphy. He's a young man that's currently now in French Polynesia with his sailboat, but he does consultations and can help people figure out how their electrical system is set up and what sort of, whatever needs to happen. So I may look into reaching out to him, because you know what, there's nobody here in my area that does that I'm aware of. So, well, I take that back. There may be some powerboat people that do it at some of the fishing places, but anyway, it's a project that's on the list for sure. I'm trying to determine, since I forgot to bring the bungee cords down, and so I am going to use a temporary fix of putting my main halyard here on the lifeline, as I did with my halyard over here on this port side lifeline, to try to keep it from banging on the mast. So what I'm going to do also is tie a backup piece of line through here in case this comes undone on this, that there's a backup line, keeping that affixed to the lifeline. Today's going a little slower than I had hoped. Just some dumb stuff that I did last season that I'm trying to redo now. Things like where I put the main halyard and then the former Hank-on jib halyard. So that is, I guess I can use it for a spinnaker halyard now, because we have the furler on the head sail now. So we have the extra halyard that we can use for the spinnaker, which it's really old and raggedy, and I don't even know if it's really functional, to be honest with you. It's also just a regular spinnaker, not an asymmetrical or any of those other, more modern day kites, I guess, as people would call them. So I maybe one day would look into getting something like an asymmetrical. But for now, I think, we'll just kind of put that on hold. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this furling system. So that will be something we'll tackle next time. We were going to do that today, but we're running out of time. So just a little bit of a short jaunt down here today to to just check the boat since she was splashed just a few days ago and make sure the bilge is dry. And yeah, just kind of take stock of where the project list is. So yeah, so that's kind of where things are for right now. And hopefully we'll get the first sail in within the next couple weeks. That's what I'm hoping for, if I can get down here maybe to do some other work. I am standing outside here in my barn's driveway with Charisma, my 2008 Com-Pac Legacy. I just untarped Charisma earlier this morning and just kind of refreshed my memory about everything that needs to get done. First thing on the list, we need to replace this tire here on the starboard side of the trailer. It keeps losing air, and as you can see, this is really built to accommodate a larger size tire for the trailer. I have a picture of what Soliloquy used to look like on a set of larger wheels with her trailer, and you can compare that with this here. I'm going to go for the larger wheels again. The reason being is I plan to do a lot of traveling with the boat, and although I've been assured that the smaller tires are fine for lots of travel, I just sort of feel like, you know, I would have more peace of mind with going to the larger size from these smaller size tires that I have on now. So we just got back from the tire shop, and it turns out that the wheels that he had aren't going to fit. We have currently 8-inch wheels on the trailer. What he thinks we need are 13-inch wheels, so he's ordering those in. So we'll get the new 13-inch wheels with new tires, and also a spare with a 13-inch wheel as well, of course. So it'll be a lot nicer, I think, for the kind of trailing that we're going to do, to have the larger tires as opposed to the little ones that are on it now. I've been told that they're quite capable of traveling long distances with the little tires, but I just feel the way that this trailer is configured, it's actually set for the larger size type tires, not the little small tires that typically come on a Legacy trailer. As my first Legacy Sunny, if you might remember her from my other videos, had. Here is Charisma sporting her new set of 13-inch wheels and tires along with her spare. It's so great to be able to cross this little project off the to-do list as far as Charisma is concerned. But what feels even better is knowing that we'll have confidence in this new set of tires and wheels so that we can trailer around our state, exploring other lakes where we can have sailing adventures aboard Charisma. Here, my first mate shows you this old tire that's 8 inches compared to the new 13-inch wheel and tire. It may make a difference at the ramp, but I still feel like it was the best decision to go along with the larger size wheel and tire. I hope you enjoyed this kickoff video for the Season 4 Passages from the Heart sailing vlog. I love sharing my stories with all of you, and I look forward to hearing from you too. It's been great to connect with others out there and hear about your own sailing adventures and stories. Please be sure to check out my website, passagesfromtheheart.wordpress.com, where I blog regularly about sailing and other life happenings. As I like to always say, I'm just a regular gal learning as I go, and I'm out to learn all things sailing. Until next time, fair winds.